Hi everyone. We are discussing what Santiago describes as a potential civil war in Colombia due to a peace negotiation treaty between the government of Colombia and a leftist guerrilla group called FARC.
Yes.
Which some members of the government are for the peace treaty.
Well, the government is for this.
The ruling government.
Yes, and the opposition is against.
The opposition is against it.
And the opposition, and what I'm saying is that they are not discussing this in a civilized manner, like you would maybe find it somehow in Holland, with tolerance for each other's views. It's the talk is so polarized and so antagonistic of each other that when you read the newspapers, you start every day gets worse and worse and worse. This interaction between the opposition and the presidential party.
Is it passionate and it's just premeditated?
No, it's passionate and it's ever more accusative and on the one hand. On the other hand, the presidential party, the opposition feels persecuted by the presidential party. They feel that they're being sent all kinds of all the judiciaries against them, following them. So it's all becoming extremely polarized.
It's concerning if a peace treaty or the negotiations for a peace treaty is making things worse in some regard. Yeah. One wonders if it could lead to peace then, if people are being excluded. It's important to remember that the concept of peace is holistic, that everyone must be included, that war is divisionary, and peace, everyone must be included. War is opposite sides. Peace, obviously, we're all together somehow if we're at peace, and everyone's needs must be considered. So if somehow these peace negotiations are making things worse for the opposition, it can't really be true peace.
The thing is, to make peace, you have to forgive a lot of very bad crimes that these people have committed for 50 years. And the opposition is not willing to forgive them without them going to jail.
Oh, I feel a song coming. Forgiveness is really important, but you could only forgive if it doesn't overstep justice being done.
And so it's all a very fine line. How long do these people have to stay in jail? Because they don't want to go to jail. They say, we're going to go to jail, we're not going to make the peace
Make
process.
the peace, right. Forgiveness is so important for overcoming things, but you could only forgive to the point where the benefit of forgiveness doesn't overstep the benefit of justice. There's a social benefit of justice. So if people forgive past a point so that they lose the benefit of justice, so this is a very, very important concept. So that's interesting. So maybe this is what needs to be understood and expressed
Well, the
clearly.
thing is that these concepts are all very subjective. What is justice? What is forgiveness? What is the future going to be like? We don't know. So some people say you can't do that because this is not justice. They should be in jail 20 years. And in any case, the future is going to be really bad because they're not really going to go and do peace. They will just keep dealing drugs. And then the other group says, no, they're really going to make peace and it's going to be really good and everybody's going to have fun.
Well, we shall see. But the end of this little segment, I realize what must be the answer in Colombia is a tiny little step. If they are making a peace treaty, the ruling government with FARC, and things are getting worse in some regards, as you say, it means they're biting off more than that they can chew. And it seems the appropriate measure is to make sure things get better all around. The only way that true peace can be achieved is when things get better all around, or when there is equality, like equal compromise. It could be you get peace by things getting worse all around, but getting worse all around equally. Like if there's a circumstance with very limited resources, so everyone has to sacrifice, even something like water rationing. But if everyone is rationing their water fairly, it's getting worse for everyone fairly, there also is peace. As opposed to unfairness. But if people are doing too much too fast, and all these things, it needs to be one little step, and make sure this one little step for peace is good for everyone all around. See if everyone can keep to these agreements. you know, and not invest so much, because when people invest a lot in a peace treaty or a lot in any type of treaty and then it turns bad, their heart hardens to doing it again. You know, like if they make this peace treaty and it doesn't work, you know what I mean? It's going to be much harder again to make peace because people will lose their faith in the peace process.